So good morning, it's day one of the Camino, walking to Santiago from Porto. Had a good night's rest in a fantastic hostel right in the centre of Porto, where I stayed actually 2 years ago, and just been to the shop to get some breakfast. Two bananas, because I'm struggling to find anything that I can buy that's not containing gluten, so I think I'm going to be eating healthily on this walk. But anyway, gorgeous, beautiful day. Just waiting for Robert to join us, and then we're going to set off. And the plan is today we're going to walk along the river and out along the coast for today's walk. It'll be about, I think, 28 kilometers roughly. So yeah, let's go. Here we are, finally off on the Camino. Not sure what's going on here, whether it's someone's shelter and home. Looks like it. No one's at home. Signs of the industrial past here of the wharf.
Children, and you
100%.
don't get too.
So we set off this morning about 8:15 a.m. It's just gone 6 o'clock. We've probably rested for about an hour during the day, but we're still walking, and we've followed the coastal route out in Porto to avoid the industrial part of the city. But we're now joining the central route. We'll just rejoin the central route, but to do that we had to do a 7.5 kilometre detour, which frankly I think has killed us all. I think we're all feeling very tired, looking forward to getting to our destination. It's been over 40 kilometres we reckon today, so long day. Here comes Robert. Thrilled that what he thought was a 28 kilometre walk has turned to a 44 kilometre walk. He's very keen to do an even longer walk tomorrow. Okay, so we've finally arrived at our accommodation now. It's in a monastery. Apparently over 60 beds here, but there's only 14 people staying here tonight. So not that many people. But I'll just show you this room, which isn't occupied at the moment, just show you what it looks like. So as you can see, really simple. There are rooms with bunk beds. There are also private rooms that you can get. So Robert's opted for a private room. Billy and I are in a shared dormitory, which is a bit cheaper, €10 for the night. So just for comparison, this is a twin room. I think this is €30 for the night. So good morning, it's day 2 of the Portuguese Camino. We've been walking probably about, coming up to an hour I suspect. It's been along fairly busy roads, but finally detoured onto a quiet road, which is nice. Yeah, had a reasonable night's sleep, although I found I kept waking up frequently during the night, which was slightly annoying, but feel refreshed and rested. And we have a more modest 28 kilometres to walk today. So we've planned the next few days in terms of where we want to be aiming for. So yeah, 28 kilometres as opposed to 46 yesterday. Yeah, so it's all good. One thing I have noticed on this Portuguese central route is that it is a lot better marked than it is on the coastal route. There's lots of yellow arrows to follow, whereas the coastal route wasn't as well marked. And also because we're inland, we don't have that wind that we had yesterday. And that wind was actually quite cold. So yeah, pleasant. We'll see what the day brings. But it should be good, sun shining, all is well with the world.
I think, suddenly they give up sport. They're not growing anymore.
Their metabolism slows down.
Yeah, but they're still eating a whole lot of food and drinking beer. Suddenly they get stimulated.
These are photos of people who've died.
Is that it?
In loving memory, yeah. So Billy and I, a short while ago, were walking past the field and a lady started speaking to us in Portuguese, which neither of us can understand. But what she was trying to ask us is if we wanted a lemon, and she went across to her lemon tree and she gave us both 2 lemons. So all I need now is some gin and tonic, and then we're all sorted. So we just stopped at this restaurant, Pedra Furuda, for lunch. Really good meal. Have a good pilgrim's menu, €9.50. So if you're passing through this way, Pedra Furuda, do check this place out. Well worth a stop. "28 kilometers later, we're here in Barcelinhos, and the place opposite the bridge is Barcelos. This is where we're spending the night. Beautiful spot." So this is the view that we have from just outside our albergue for the night. Not a bad location.
Yeah, you made
So here we are, other side of the river, that's Barcelinhos, and our albergue is that white building there. Fantastic location. And there's the bridge. Oh, I love the wind.
Oh, yeah.
That breeze is so refreshing. So this building looks like it should be a castle, but don't know what it was. Unusual looking building. Archaeological museum by the looks of it. So when we did the Camino Francis route 2 years ago, we've read about the legend of the cockerel and a man that had been falsely accused and was hanged and survived, and it transpires that that legend exists here as well, which is why you see cockerels around the place. I don't know if you can see it clearly there on the camera. There we go. A man who was falsely accused, hung, but was found innocent, and the cockerel declared his innocence. So according to the legend here, the gentleman who survived being hung because he was innocent and on a pilgrimage to Santiago returned to this town in Portugal and built this stone cross. So this is, I think, pronounced Barcelos, sorry, just across the river from where we're staying, Barcelinhos. Beautiful town, lovely. This is the Camino route, walking through the town. So this is the route we'll be taking tomorrow when we get up. According to that sign there, 195 kilometers to Santiago. So miles or kilometers being eaten away. But what a beautiful town. It's about 9 p.m. now. It's really lovely and cool. It's been a very hot day. It's a population of about 120,000, this town, and I believe, according to what I've read online, it's one of the most affluent parts of Portugal. So tomorrow is Corpus Christi here in Portugal, an important feast day, public holiday as well, and there will be processions in various towns and villages across Portugal. The procession here in this town is at 5 p.m, so we will be well gone by that time. Be interesting to see if we see anything on our walk to our next destination. I'm really taken with Portugal. It's a lovely country. And it's surpassed all my expectations.
So this side says 1918. It says.
So good morning folks, it's day 3 on the Portuguese Camino, just making our departure. It's 10 to 7, just show you our hostel. So again, didn't have the best night of sleep last night. My body's aching, hips are aching, knees are aching. Yeah, gonna see how I'm gonna get on today. I've switched from wearing sandals today to wearing my shoes because one of my little toes is feeling a little bit sore. So yeah, I'm showing the signs of aches and pains as walking the Camino. I've got some walking poles with me which I haven't actually used the last couple of days, but I think I might use them today. It might help a little bit, but I imagine that when I start walking it will improve in ease. But yeah, just feeling a little bit stiff at night. So we're not entirely sure about how far we're going to go today. Originally we were going to go to a place called Ponte de Lima, I think it's called, but that's over 30 kilometers away, and we're now wondering whether to reduce the distance, maybe go somewhere a little bit closer, maybe 20 kilometers, but we'll see. Ponte de Lima sounds like a really interesting town, one of the main towns on the route, so it would be quite nice to spend the night there. But if we don't spend the night there, we'll see it tomorrow. So anyway, another gorgeous day, and I'm sure once we get properly going, the aches and pains will ease. So here we have that cockerel again that I was filming yesterday in the sunlight this time. You see quite a few of these on the route. I have no idea what this is about, but look at this guy's weird arm. He's got a naked woman growing out of it. Not very practical. So just admiring these beautiful buildings in Barcelinhos. So it's just gone 7 o'clock. Very few people around. But just look at this square. Lovely. A really nice town. And in Portugal, they really go in for their tiles. Lovely. Another beautiful church over there. So as I said yesterday, today is Corpus Christi, which is an important festival, particularly within the Catholic Church. A celebration of the Eucharist, the body and blood of Christ that you receive in communion or the Mass. So later on today there's going to be a big parade and celebration and festival, and we're not going to see it here because that's at 5 p.m, but hopefully we might see something on the way as we pass through the villages. But lovely place. So if you're walking on the Camino Francis route, you would see loads of pilgrims already out. But at the moment, we've not seen anyone. People on these Portuguese routes seem to take things a bit more leisurely. There isn't the same number of people, and there isn't that same pressure to find accommodation. We had a hostel, maybe 20 beds last night, and there were only 3 of us there, Billy, myself and another chap. Peregrino.
Peregrina.
Or Peregrina. Yeah. With a very small bag. Suspiciously light. And a slightly weird face as well. So much of the path that we've been following has been along tarmac or cobblestones. So it makes a nice change when we divert off the path and walk along a footpath like this, because it's quite hard on the feet. And I'm not just talking about today, I'm talking about the last few days. It's just been cobblestones and tarmac, which is hard going. It's very hot today, but we're hoping to stop in about an hour. So it's just coming up to 1 p.m. So this is where we're spending tonight. Fantastic hostel, private hostel. Really lovely, an amazing host. Very friendly, very welcoming. We've got dinner, bed and breakfast here for 30 euros. Little garden there. She's served us all some chilled white wine. But beautiful location, beautiful spot.
It's the same way, like
Well, I know Billy Boy
Nice
doesn't want
picture,
one.
man.
a very lively person.
Robert serving chilled white wine in our hostel for the night. Lovely place.
Yeah, Kathy, are you on for one of these?
Yes, I am. Thank you. Have a great night. Oh, yes. I'm not worried.
I'm really okay.
No.
I think we can always find some place.
So this is where we're spending the night. An amazing hostel. I'll show the room a little bit later.
Thank you guys. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice meeting you. We'll see.
You can do all this with 15, 20, no, because we've got so far into it after 3 days.
So this is where Robert is spending the night. He's got this double bed in this sort of annex area. Fantastic little spot. Look at that. And the rest of us in that room behind. No bunk beds here. It's a lovely spot. And it's good to stop. It's a very warm day today.
So yeah, we have a mutual friend. That's me, a fresh breeze from the breeze. Where it's at. But when I was young, I would drive to like Nogales, Ciudad Juarez, Matamoros, right, just along the border towns. And then more recently, we just fly to like Cancun or places like that.
So you are missing the center.
Life is over, out on the street. Let's go, girls.
Take me like
Let's go. West Virginia, Alabama,
take it country roads. Oh my memory,
Robert, you know American.
mine are raining stranger to the water.
Dark is the sea, angel the sky. My eyes can't remember. Take me home to the place I belong. Santiago. Take me home, country road. I'll meet the boys in the morning. Oh, my home far away. Let's go, girls. Let's go, boys.
Exactly.
Help me get my feet back on the ground.
Won't you please, please help me, help me, help me. Yo no soy marinero, soy capitán, soy capitán, soy capitán. La 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 la. La la bam bam. La la bam bam. Everybody in English. Caramba, guys, you have to work. Wait, Robert, don't go away.
No, I left something on the table. I just remembered a bit of paper. Can I get inside?
No, let's stay here. The people stay there.
Nobody can stand up. You want to go to the bathroom? No. You cannot.
I just have to distinguish. Bueno, tenía que cambiar.
So, good morning. It is day 4 on the Portuguese Camino. I have to say that hostel or albergue that we stayed in last night was absolutely fantastic. In fact, I probably would say it's the best one I've stayed anywhere on the Camino from my Camino experience here in Portugal and 2 years ago when I did the Camino Francis and also to finish there. The hosts were amazing, the atmosphere was incredible. So if you're doing the Portuguese Camino, stay at that albergue. I think it's Fernando, but absolutely wonderful. We got there, they got the chilled white wine out for people to drink. They made snacks in the afternoon, made a lovely meal in the evening. Then we were singing songs together, and the host just phenomenal. So yeah, absolutely wonderful place. Also, best night's sleep I've had so far on this Camino. I hope others in the room with me managed to sleep okay as well, but I had a really good night's sleep and another gorgeous day. So the plan today is to go only 15 kilometers because we're going to a place called Ponte, Lima, which is one of the main towns apparently on the Portuguese route. I'm told it's a nice place, so we're talks about whether we go further, but I think the plan is we're just going there. So it's only going to be a few hours today, so quite a gentle walk. Lovely thing about that hostel as well, because we were all eating together, met lots of lovely people from UK, Canada, US, Mexico, so Switzerland as well. So yeah, I feel like we sort of met more people and got to know more people, which is lovely. Anyway, nice stroll. It's not too warm at the moment, which is good, so it should be a good day. So I've just come across this in the ground, and it's Looks like coloured sand. And this must have been for their Corpus Christi celebrations. See the depiction of the chalice, the host. A lot of time and effort has gone into producing this. Unfortunately, we never saw any of the Corpus Christi celebrations yesterday, which is a pity. I was hoping that maybe we would go through a town or a village or something like that and see it, but sadly that didn't happen. But look at this, absolutely incredible. I wonder how many people were involved in producing this. Must have taken quite a while. It just keeps going all the way to the church. And here we have the church itself, which I suspect is locked. It's all you can see. It goes all the way back to the cross in the distance. So I bought these shoes on my last Camino and they got me through the last Camino. Really great shoes, but unfortunately I think the sole, can't see it properly, but the sole is all messed up, and when I was walking in them I'm sort of bending inwards. So I think I'm just going to ditch them now. But I feel a little bit sad because they took me through most of northern Spain, did a good job, but I just don't see any point carrying them in my rucksack. It's just taking up space and weight, and I don't think wearing them is doing me any favours. So goodbye, old friends. Now I've just seen a sign saying this is the only chapel you can visit on the Portuguese Camino, by which I assume they mean one of the few that's actually open. Let's go and have a look. It's certainly true that most of the churches and chapels have been closed. Very simple, but attractive.
It wasn't his fault.
So welcome to Ponte de Lima. We've probably walked about 15 kilometers, so not far today, but nice little spot. Look at these fantastic sculptures. Oxen with the yoke. I'm not entirely sure what that woman's doing to that oxen. sowing the seed. So first impressions of the town, rather attractive place. Shame they had to put the car park there, it does slightly spoil the view of the bridge, but can't be helped. What surprises me is I can't see anyone swimming in the river. I thought there would be a beach. Well, there certainly seems to be places people could swim, but no one's actually in the water. Some people paddling on it over there, to the right. So this is the Rio Lima, on Ponte Lima, the bridge over the Lima River. So I'm on my way to see if I can find the albergue, the municipal, where we're hoping to spend the night. According to the information we've got, it's €5 a night, and I'm told it's in a former prison. Now it's just gone 12, and apparently it doesn't open till 3, but I thought I'd just check it out anyway. Oh, it's quite a long bridge, isn't it? I love these white painted churches that you get in Portugal, very attractive. Unfortunately, most of them are also locked, so you can't actually get in. Statue marking the Camino. Oh, so this church is open. So I've just gone for a nice refreshing dip in the River Lima. Quite cool, but on a hot day like today it's good to get into the water. So you may be wondering what this Roman soldier is doing sat next to this river. Well, this is the River Lima, of course, but it was once believed to be the River Lethes. Now, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but according to a legend, this was the River of Oblivion. There was a belief that if you crossed over the river, you would forget all your past life. Now, General Brutus, to prove to his soldiers that this was not the case, crossed the river and then shouted across the river to his soldiers by name to call them over, therefore proving to them that this was not indeed the River of Oblivion. I think this is one of the rivers associated with the Greek underworld, and on the other side of the bank are Roman soldiers waiting to cross. So there you go, the River of Oblivion. Having crossed the river myself, I can confirm that it isn't the River of Oblivion and that I haven't forgotten my past life. So all is well.
Here they go. The boys are off. That girl's going, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in the lead, but the guy to the left took over.
So good morning. It is now day 5 of the Portuguese Camino, and it is also Saturday the 1st of June. So we're leaving Ponte de Lima. It's about 6:30 in the morning, nice and cool. And again, not a particularly long walk today, 17 kilometers, I think it's the plan, but making advantage of the cooler part of the day because it's very warm later on. Very peaceful little spot. Walking through vineyards. Very pleasant morning. I've just come across this interesting display on the side of the road. Slightly weird, slightly freaky if I'm honest. That's a bit weird, isn't it? Not sure what that's all about.
vegetable gardens, fruit trees. Flowers.
Lá de cima é
Now, it looks to me like there might have been a fire here not that long ago. The trees are bent over, some of them look burnt, and I can't imagine it was necessarily the wind, because other trees around aren't affected in the same way. I know there were some pretty bad wildfires 2 years ago, last time I was doing the Camino, so I wonder if that's what's happened here. I'll just show you when I get past this little tree here. So you can sort of understand why wildfires here catch so quickly and spread so quickly. So for me, the most enjoyable 2 days so far on the Portuguese Camino have been yesterday and today. It's nice to be walking through woods and amongst hilly areas. I did read online that some people say this is one of the hardest stretches of the Portuguese Camino because you have to climb over a hill. The hill's only 400 meters. It's steep in places, but nothing unusual, especially if you're used to climbing hills. It's very easy, really, but it is really nice walking through forests, walking on forest tracks rather than on the roads. So yeah, not far from my destination, so going to be there very early today, probably before 11, which is really earlier than I would have liked. I would have really liked to have pushed on at least 2, maybe 3 more hours, but anyway, we've got our destination coming up and we'll see what's there when we get there. On the Camino Frances, you have the Iron Cross, which is an important landmark, and people leave rocks at the base of the Iron Cross as a symbol of laying down their burdens at the cross. Well, anyway, just come across this stone cross here, and it looks like people have done the same, sort of left stones here. Billy made a comment yesterday that there aren't many churches that are actually open on this Camino route, which is a real shame, and he said in a sense it sort of diminishes that sense of it being a religious pilgrimage route. And obviously some people are doing it for religious reasons, but my impression is a lot of people are doing it because it's here and it's the challenge and it's walking through beautiful areas. But certainly agree, I think the churches on this route could do a lot more to sort of try and engage with pilgrims and try and get people to think about the more spiritual aspect of pilgrimage. Anyway, another thing I just noticed on this path, or sorry, just noticed, been noticing last few days, is you occasionally pass pilgrims going the other way, and there are blue arrows as well as yellow arrows. So the yellow arrows are pointing in the direction of Santiago, but the blue arrows are pointing south, and they take people to Fatima, which is not far from Lisbon, I believe. So quite a few people seem to be doing that route. Certainly not as many as going to Santiago, but definitely, you know, every day you'll see at least a handful of people heading south, heading in the direction, I presume, of Fatima. And that would be an interesting pilgrimage to do from Santiago. So we have an enterprising local businessman here advertising the taxi for those that have had enough of walking. I did hear, or I did read, I should say, that some people actually take a taxi to skip this section of climb, which frankly I find slightly surprising, but I suppose everyone has to make their own pilgrimage their own way. Good morning. It is day 6 on the Portuguese Camino, and this is actually our final day in Portugal, because in about 20 something kilometers we're going to pass from Portugal into Spain, and then the rest of the Camino will be through Spain to Santiago. So the aim today is to get to Tui, which is just on the Spanish side of the border. Another beautiful, gorgeous morning. Had a fantastic stay in the hostel last night. Again, another amazing find. Had a twin room with Billy, but they provided the most amazing meal last night at the hostel. One of the best meals I've had on the Camino. So yeah, really good night, and looking forward to today. So today actually marks the halfway point on the journey from Porto to Santiago, because the schedule that I'm following takes me to Santiago in 12 days. This is of course day 6, so halfway there, certainly in terms of days timing. Don't know about distance yet. And of course spent the last 6 days here in Portugal. Going to spend the next 6 days after today walking in Spain. So a small but significant milestone on the Portuguese Camino. So here we are coming into Valencia. Impressive city walls.
Hello.
Here we are in Valencia, and this is our last Portuguese town, and across the river is Tui and Spain. But what an amazing place this is. Reminds me of Pamplona coming in with the city walls. So there we have across the river Spain. These two settlements staring at one another, and impressive fortifications in this city. The bridge crossing over to Spain. Okay, goodbye Portugal. And that's where we're heading, Tui. Look at this. Wonderful. Something very fun walking across the border from one country to another. So here we are, the border zone. So here we go,
You want us to take one of you as well?
the border point.
Maybe. Yeah.
Goodbye Portugal. Hello Spain. Welcome to Galicia and to the Spanish city of Tui, the home of travel agents, I'm assuming. Oh, I see.
Sadly.
So we've arrived at the monastery convent in Tui, and this is where we're going to be spending the night. And because we've crossed into Spain, the time zone's changed. We're 1 hour ahead here in Spain, whereas Portugal is on UK time, or same time zone as the UK, I should say. Nice spot. So here we have a military base in Tui with a patrol boat to patrol the river border with Portugal. And on the other side we have Portugal. And in the distance, the Portuguese town that we walked through earlier today. So that's the church that's attached to the old convent where we're spending tonight. So this is the church, but sadly it looks like it's redundant.
Se você vai buscar o seu encontro, se esperar, tá bem.